Glitch chat, where we at? Glitch chat, where we at? Hello, everybody! How are we today? Hello, my crews and freaks, my beloved Bytes Glitch chat. It's a pleasure to see you all today. I'm your host, Scene Bean, and today we're going to be doing something kind of different. We're going to be doing something a little silly today. So hold on, let me move this where it needs to be. Here we go. So, chat, as we all know, why must the fart sound effect do this to me? Why? Oh my god, stop closing thing. Yes, open with Google Docs. Open with Google Docs. Today, we're going to be doing something very interesting. Something that I have not done yet. Today, we're going to be revisiting my old fantasy novel that I wrote however long ago. Now, chat, for those of you that don't know, this book was like my entire life when I was in middle school. This was like my special thing. It was kind of like, sometimes it even felt like the only thing I really had, honestly. Because I'm gonna be so for real with you guys today, chat. I've had the not the greatest day in the world. I've not had the best day ever, unfortunately. But you know what, it's okay. I'm here, I'm excited to be here with you all, and we're gonna be looking at the Phantasmics. That's the name of it, by the way. It's called the Phantasmics. And, again, this was like my life in like 2020. This is what I did. Everyone watched Dream SMP. I freaking wrote something better than Dream SMP. So, we're gonna get into it. Let me just kind of preface everybody first. I want to do a quick poll. First of all, chat, glitch chat, do we want to do... I'm gonna ask this first. Chat, do we want to read the revised version, what I have there, and then go back over to the original version, or do we just want to read the original version? What would we prefer? Do we want the revised version, or do we want the original version? Because I will say the revised version is kind of like the first chapter extended into an entire book. And then the original version is back when I thought that because it was going to be a series. It was going to be a series, chat. That was back when it was originally going to be a graphic novel. So there's like stage directions and descriptions on how the scenes should be drawn. Because I wanted it to be like a comic almost. I wanted it to be a graphic novel. So, do we want to read the original version, or do we want to read the new version? AKA the revived version that is a lot more recent. Oopsie. I wanna hear from chat first before I start. If I don't hear from chat, I'm just gonna make the decision. You know what? I think we're gonna do both. We're gonna do both. I'm gonna read what I have of... You know what? Nah, I'm just gonna read this version. Okay, we'll read the original. So, this is the prologue. And I'm going to try to not read the stage directions. Whatever. Okay. This is a summarized dream sequence of Peter's past. Peter is our main character, by the way. Oh god, by the way, FYI, trigger warning for abuse, trigger warning for a lot of stuff. The Phantasmics is very dark. The fact I wrote this when I was in, like, 6th grade, and this is the shit I was writing, should be concerning enough. But anyway, here we go. This is a summarized dream sequence of Peter's past. We see the silhouette of a man beating young Peter on the wall. The man is Peter's dad. Suddenly, a new shadow enters the scene. Strings come out of and this person is named Percy. Not related with Sugg at all. Strings come out of Percy's hand and hang his dad. No, there's only silhouette on the wall. Percy's silhouette begins floating in the air. One of Luna's portals appears behind him. Bro, please, you don't have to do this. This isn't the way. Peter cries. There is a bright flash of purple light, and the scene changes into a hospital. All we see is a heartbeat monitor. Boop, boop, boop. Oh yeah. Peter instantly wakes up in a cold sweat. I had that dream again. He picks up a family photo of him as a child. Percy as a child and his mom and dad. He sighs and hugs the photo. Peter notices his alarm clock. Oh no, I'm gonna be late! Peter yells. And then, this is just during the following sequences, Peter's getting dressed and ready. This is Peter. Peter Lakewood. Yeah, this is Peter. This is Peter. Peter Lakewood. He's just your average American, fresh out of college, 23 years old, lives in an apartment, and he has an office job. Life is good, but he doesn't really have anything interesting going on. Little did Peter know that was about to change very soon. Transition to Peter working in his office. By the way, chat, I actually have a bowl of ramen with me. So if I pause, it's because I'm eating my ramen. You know me, chat. You know your scene bean loves ramen. This is a fire bowl of ramen. It was a typical day at the office, nothing much to note, until his boss approached him with someone he had never seen before. She must be new, Peter thought. She sat down in the cubicle beside him and began working. Just the sight of her made Peter fall head over heels in love with her. He was, as people put it, on cloud 9. After 10 minutes of staring, Peter decided to introduce himself. Hello, what's your name? I'm Peter. It's nice to meet you. The woman smiled. I'm Olivia. It's nice to meet you too, Peter. Peter's face then went red. What a pretty name for such a pretty woman, Peter thought. Weeks passed, and Peter and Olivia became good friends. He decided to take a bold risk. He was going to ask her out. Ooh. So, would you like to get coffee with me tomorrow? Peter asked. You could hear the worried tone in his voice. He was dreading the answer. Olivia blushed. I would love to, Peter. 9 o'clock? That'd be perfect, exclaimed Peter. All of his associates stared. He said it really loud. Some even snickered. Even Olivia was trying hard not to laugh. Peter couldn't help but smile. This was going great, he thought. The day came and went, and before he knew it, it was 9 o'clock the next day. Waiting in the coffee shop, you could literally feel the tension in the air. Once Olivia walked in that door of the coffee shop, Peter felt as if he didn't weigh anything. It was truly magical. Olivia sat beside him. Oh, no, it's okay. Demon does this every time. By the way, Leg, you're not opt right now. I'll op you after stream. I can't do it in my menu right now. Olivia sat beside him. Both of their faces went tomato red as they tried to find anything to say that wouldn't make the moment awkward. Once they finally struck up a conversation, they had a rather pleasant time talking, blushing, laughing, and of course drinking their coffee. Then, Peter and Olivia both leaned in and kissed. After that, they started dating. 2 years later, Peter and Olivia took a boat out to Liberty Island to watch the sunset. As the sun was setting over the horizon, Peter reached into his pocket and pulled out a small velvet box. He got down on one knee, looking into Olivia's blue eyes, and said, "Will you marry me?" Olivia's eyes filled with tears. "Oh, Peter," she began. "Don't you already know the answer?" "Yes! Yes, of course! I love you, Peter!" Suddenly, a portal opened up behind Olivia. Several black... Oh, wait, no, not black. What the fuck? It's supposed to be... Several purple strings grabbed Olivia and pulled her in. "Peter!" Olivia exclaimed. "Help! Olivia!" Peter exclaimed desperately. The strings pulled Olivia in and the portal closed. Olivia was gone. I have to do something, but what? I couldn't go to the police. They wouldn't believe me. As he was planning his next move, a portal opened, scaring him so much that he jumped up in the air and fell face first. When he woke up, the portal was still there. He took a deep breath and entered the portal. There's a flash of light as 11 different colors flash across his vision for a brief second. Then everything goes white. The Phantasmics Chapter 1, An Unexpected Adventure. Now, chat. I actually, when I was in freaking 6th grade, I got something very special commissioned. I got art of all the characters commissioned by someone. I will say, this person is now in jail. But that's not the point. The point is I had art commissioned of all the main characters in this. So, I want to see if I can find that. I want to see if I can find the original art for all of that, because I had it. It is real. It exists somewhere. William Shakespeare. Before I continue, I really want to see if I can find it, just so I can show you what the characters looked like, because it was really something special, you know? Where the heck is folders? It's in one of my drives somewhere. No. Oh, I think I know what drive it's in. Keyword, I think. Yes, okay. I think it's in this one. Oh, I forgot, by the way. I've queued it up to where we have, mood music. This is actually the exact song that I would listen to whenever I was writing for Peter, specifically. This is kind of the Phantasmics theme, if you will. If it exists on my drive, then where the heck is it? If I can't find it, I will say I know I have all the photos of everybody printed out. So if it comes down to it, I will get those. Go to drive. What the heck? I found it. Found it. Yes. Here it goes. I found it. No, that's a later thing. I found where it is. I found the file. It's actually in this drive. So we're gonna go to my drive. Hi, Bo. We are reading my freaking old fantasy novel. So this is it, right here. The freaking sketches of everybody. So start off. This is Peter. This is Peter. That's what Peter looks like. He's got a green sweater, collared shirt, and jeans. That's what he wears. And Olivia... This is Olivia. She wears a white sweater, a indigo dress, or kind of like blur bowl, and black heels. And glasses. That's what she looks like. So of the characters we've met, that's what they look like. I'm sorry, I really wanted to find that for you guys. So, moving forward... Let's continue on. The Phantasmics Chapter 1, An Unexpected Adventure.
Mister, are you okay?
Peter opened his eyes. A green goblin-like creature stands over him, looking worried.
Ah! a human! Please don't eat me!
Cried the goblin. I won't eat you, whatever you are. Anyways, where am I? Peter asked, warily.
I was running away from a large beast when I almost tripped over you, the goblin said. You're in the monster realm, and this is the woodlands.
So, Peter began.
No time for that! We need to hide!
The goblin exclaimed. He grabbed Peter's hand and they ran. Then they hid behind a nearby bush. But why do we have to? Peter began.
Shh!
The goblin shushed. But
Shh! Shush!
I didn't even freaking say any. But before Peter could finish his spaz session, the goblin's hand clasped around his mouth. Peter's eyes widened. A large shadow loomed past the bush the two were hiding in. He was dragging a large hammer behind him. Growl. Where are you little green freak? I was certain I saw you run over here. Ramen. Peter glanced over at the goblin. He was covering his eyes with his long, floppy ears. He was shivering, rapidly. Peter could talk now, but he made the smart choice and didn't. He just sat and waited. I'll get you later. The beast then walked away.
Phew! That was close! The goblin exclaimed. You almost gave me away! Sorry about that. Did I ever get a chance to introduce myself? Oh no, I didn't. I'm very sorry. You deserve way better than me. I can't believe I was such a jerk to you.
He hangs his head in shame.
I'm the worst.
Peter smiles and comforts the goblin. I'm Peter.
It's nice to meet you. It's nice to meet you, Peter.
Sniffs the goblin. He wipes his tears away with his ear.
I'm Papskin. Oh, I'm sorry for getting in your way. I'll leave.
Yes, I have ramen next to me. Papskin turns to leave. Peter sighs. Oh, hold on. Papskin? This is Papskin. He's just a little guy. He's got really long ears. They're very floppy. And he's just a cute little baby. By the way, these are actually based off of my sketches. If you ever want to see the original sketches, I am eating ramen, yes. Let me actually show you the original sketches. Oh crap, I don't know where everybody is. No. I don't want to show. I don't want to show those. Those are spoilers. I don't want to show spoilers. Thank you for correcting yourself, Pebbles.
Oh, I'm sorry for getting in your way. I'll leave.
Papskin turns to leave. Peter sighs. Hey, wait. Do you want to come with me? I could really use someone to show me around and help me get back to Earth.
Really? You would let me?
Asked Papskin, who was very surprised to hear this. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really from here, so that would be great if you could. And besides, I could really use a friend. Shrimp, actually, said Peter. Papskin starts crying and smiling at the same time. He then runs up and hugs Peter. At first, Peter is shocked, but then he hugs him back. Papskin joined your party!
If you want to go back to Earth, you will have to go to the castle of the Monster King,
said Papskin.
Anyways, we need to get going.
They get up and press on. The two walk through the woodlands in a daze. It was quite odd that the goblin was so hesitant talking about his king, thought Peter. The two were silent until they stumbled upon a toadstool. Oh yeah, toadstool is a type of Edavi, so they're entering a fight. Toadstool is a type of tree. It's like a walking tree. It attacks them by spitting acorns out of its mouth really fast like a gun or cannon. Look out! Papskin exclaims. He looks like he's about to cry or have a mental breakdown. He then hides behind Peter. Peter dodges the acorns in the nick of time, but if you go in his hair... No! My awesomely perfect hair! Now it looks bad! Peter exclaimed. He was rather irritated by this.
Is that seriously what you're worried about?
startling Peter and the Toadstool. Papskin then realized what he said and the impact he had. Yeah, I didn't really know what Toadstool was. I thought it was like a tree stump. At the time, I thought a toadstool was a type of tree stump.
Oh my gosh, did I really just say that? I can't believe I said that. I am so sorry. Anyways, Peter, it's your turn.
Peter picks up a nearby stick and jumps to swing it at the toadstool. But suddenly, Peter stops in midair right above the toadstool. Right above the toadstool as it leaves, as Papskin begins to scold. Oh, right above the toadstool's leaves. Okay. As Papskin begins to scold Peter.
You aren't gonna hurt him, are you?
Exclaimed Papskin with tears in his eyes. Peter, still stuck in midair, drops from his position and throws the stick away. And pats the toadstool calmly on the head and backs away towards Papskin. I really...
Maybe you should try talking to it? Be nice.
Papskin offers. I guess you're right, admits Peter. Hey, tree thing! Starts Peter. Your leaves look very, leafy today, says Peter. The toadstool smiles big and leaves. Papskin looks very satisfied.
See now, was that so hard?
Says Papskin. The two then press on. They walk through the swaying trees until the two reach a toll booth. Oh, I know who this is. Inside there was a small gnome with his head resting on his desk. He was asleep. Papskin, what are we gonna do? We don't have any money. If we want to keep going, we have to pay the toll, Peter said.
I don't really want to do this, but I think we have to try to sneak past him.
Oh wait, I don't really want to do this, but I think we have to try to sneak past him. I don't think he'll be happy if he finds out we don't have any money. How long was I working on it? Years. A total of several years.
Wait, Peter, maybe you could just kindly ask him if there's another way to pay him, said Papskin. Do a chore or run an errand for him. That way, we don't have to lie or be mean. It's better to help people than deceive them.
You know who would be great as one... You would be great as one of these one day, Peter suggested. He hands him a therapist application form.
What's a there rap iced?
Asked Papskin. Peter then once again makes his oh yeah, that was kind of a bit, the oval eye face, that's like really funny faces I drew the characters in. At Papskin, he also does the boy gesture. You can tell that this was written in like frickin' 2019. He then realizes that this is pointless. Well, starts Peter, we won't make any progress talking about how to pronounce therapist or make meme gestures at each other. We should probably go talk to the toll gnome.
Yeah, you're right, says Papskin. Now let's do this thing!
Yells Papskin. He bursts into tears while yelling this. The gnome instantly wakes up, grabs a nearby pencil, and jumps on his toll booth. He then starts yelling at the top of his lungs. Don't come any closer! I've got a pencil and I'm not afraid to use it! The gnome then realizes who he was yelling at. He faces to okay, again with faces. Papskin hides behind a leaf that he's holding. The gnome's face goes red, and as he slowly sits back down at his desk. So how may I help you two? He asked. Oh, by the way, this guy is named Malkov. And Malkov, let me go find Malkov. Yes, this is Malkov. He's a gnome, he's got a really big beard, and underneath his hat is like a giant horn. That's why he wears a hat. He's like a little, think like a garden gnome. That's what he looks like. He looks like a garden gnome. He's also very, very short. I know. That's why it's really nostalgic reading this, considering how long ago it was. So, how may I help you two? He asked Malkov. So, we need to get through this gate. We don't have any money. Is there any way else to pay you? Peter asked. Well, maybe, maybe you could go and get me a health potion from the witch Tiki. She lives just through that thicket of trees. Malkov points to the thicket. Okay, thank you, says Peter. Before you go, take these dopalies. Dopalies are monster currency, by the way. You can pay her with them, says Malkov.
Thanks, says Papskin.
The two enter the thicket. They walk for a bit, hiding behind a tree. Thank you, Chad. They walk for a bit. Hiding behind a tree is Luna, watching them. She jumps out and quietly follows the two until she trips, causing Peter and Papskin to turn around. They make eye contact with her. She then jumps up and runs away. Oh, let me show you all what Luna looks like. Luna is a rabbit plushie with a top hat. And fun fact about Luna is that I actually made a plushie of her. Like, she was, like, I would practice sewing by making a plushie of Luna. So I have multiple versions of that plushie of her that I might show on stream. If people like the story and want to hear more of it after I finish this bit, I will read more of it and I will show off all the stuff that I made for this, because it was like my hyperfixation for ages.
Who was that?
Asked Papskin. I don't know, but she seemed familiar in a way, Peter said. The two walked in silence till they reached Tiki's shop. It was an old shack with boards falling off the hinges. It also had vines growing on it, with white flowers growing on the vines. A sign was taped to the structure reading, Tiki's potions, spell ingredients, and remedies. Papskin and Peter went to the door, went to open the door, but when they touched it, it instantly broke. Yeah, Tiki's shop is kind of falling apart. Okay, said Peter. Peter looked at Papskin. He looks like he's about to lose it.
Oh my gosh! I am so sorry, Mr. Door!
Cried Papskin.
I will personally buy you 1 bajillion health potions! Here, take my bandage!
He gives the remains of the door part of his foot bandage. All of the pieces instantly disintegrate. Papskin is about to start crying harder. Fuck. Forget the door, yells Peter. Let's just go get that potion.
Okay,
Sniffs Papskin. The two walk in to find the place deserted. Hello, says Peter. Suddenly, Tiki jumps up from a cardboard box as Papskin faints, landing in the puddle of his own tears.
Heidi-ho, travelers!
Exclaimed Tiki. She takes off her witch hat. The cat ears come off with it just as Papskin regains consciousness. He faints again after seeing a pair of her 2 sets of ears come off. His tears splash on Peter's pants. He just decides to ignore that. Tiki looks over at Papskin.
Is he okay?
Asked Tiki. Sure, said Peter. So we need Tiki then takes out a health potion and gives it to Peter. How?
I'm psychic!
Says Tiki. Oh. Peter takes the potion and drags Papskin out the door and to Malkov's booth. They give him the potion. Oh, while we're here, let me show you all what Tiki looks like. So Tiki... This is Tiki. She's got a witch hat, she's got 2 sets of ears, she's got a 3-pronged tail. Yeah, I love Tiki a lot. I love Tiki. She's such a little baby girl. I love her. Okay, I'm gonna take another bite of ramen real quick. This ramen is so fire, chat, you don't even know. Okay. Anyway, Peter then takes the potion and drags Papskin out the door to Malkov's toll booth. They give him the potion. He thanks them and says that his name is Malkov. And they head to leave. Wait, said Malkov. Could I come with you? Peter looks at Papskin.
We should let him,
says Papskin. Peter smiles. Okay. Malkov has joined your party! No, I'm eating shrimp ramen, not shin ramen. This is very silly. This is very silly. Alright, the three walk across the bridge until they come across the Okit, the special enemy Tico. Oh god, this is... fun fact, that is a reference to my old YouTube channel, HypoTico241. That's my original YouTube channel, and the mascot was Tico. And Tico is this, like, white thing, with, like, a weird, like, a very odd, silly little goofy face. I made a doll of him, too. Maybe I'll show him that as well at some point. Anyway. Oh, no, said Malkov. That is an Okit. That is an Okit. Oh, no. What's that? asked Peter. An Okit, answered Malkov, is an evil and mischievous Tico that got corrupted with negativity. What? There is nothing we can do. We will have to go another way. It won't budge.
But this is the only way into the Darklands! We need to get to the king's castle so Peter can go home! Exclaims Papskin. Suddenly, the Okit starts glowing a periwinkle color and is thrown against the bridge railing. A shadowy aura is sucked from the Okit. A shadowy figure is approaching the three. Tiki jumps onto the three and asks to tag along too. Papskin and Malkov nod an improvement. Okay, the more the merrier after all, says Peter. Tiki has joined your party! The four walk until they reach a door that only the horn of a gnome can unlock. Malkov takes off his hat to reveal a large horn underneath. The three stare in shock as he unlocks the door. Peter then starts talking. Wait, don't you all have jobs you have to do? I mean, what about your families, your friends? You can't just leave them, it wouldn't be right. Well, I mean, my shop is kind of falling apart. I mean, when you tried to open the door, it just straight up disintegrated. And I hardly get customers anymore. Just Malkov, said Tiki. Besides, I've been dying for some action in my life. It'll be fun! Yeah, job. Tiki does make a good point. I mean, nobody in the forest wants to go to the Darklands. It's way too dangerous there. You guys are my friends, so I want to accompany you, agreed Malkov. I don't have a house, or a job, or family, or friends, so I won't really be missed, admitted Papskin. Well, alright, said Peter. Now let's go. They walk inside. Malkov is sticking out of the door still. So basically, I didn't write this in there, I think I forgot to do that, but what they had to do to unlock the door was they took Malkov's hat off, they shoved him in the lock, and they, like, twisted him to open the door, like he was a key, and they just left him there. They didn't take him out. Malkov is still sticking out of the door. Peter's filled with leadership. Oh, look. Ooh. Everything is black. Oh my goodness. He's awake. Are you okay, buddy? Mommy? Daddy? Is he there? No. XXX. The redacted name is Percy. Again, not affiliated with Percival Malpractice the Spider at all. We found him floating in the river, remember? He was only unconscious. I will go and get him some water. I'll call the doctor. Man, Mom and Dad are treating you like royalty. Don't you have a family? No? I guess you're gonna be staying with us then, huh? Hey, what's your name anyway, kid? Peter? That's a nice name. My name is... That's the end of Chapter 1, chat! That is the end of Chapter 1. I still have about 20 minutes. Do you want me to keep going? Are we enjoying bedtime stories with Scene Beam? Do you want me to keep reading? Because I can if you want. I'm waiting for a response from chat. I know it's a little delayed, so we're gonna give you guys a minute. Okay.
Boing. Alright, I'm glad you guys are liking my silly novel so far. Alright, The Fantasmics Chapter 2, A Light in the Darkness. I will keep reading until 5:30.
Peter?
Because, at 6 I have an event I need to go to. Maybe I can go till 5:45. Oh, I have an event that I need to go to at 6. It's like it's for my school. It's the choir banquet. They're like doing awards and stuff. I kind of need to attend that. Depending on the time I get back, though, maybe I'll stream again and we'll keep reading. if you guys want.
Peter? Are you okay?
Papskin asked. Peter wakes up and rubs the bump on his head. Yeah, I think so, Peter said. Thank goodness, you had the load of us worried sick! Sorry, I got a text from my dad. Oh, by the way, I will say, there came a point very early on writing this where I got really tired of saying said, so I just put the person's name afterwards. So I'm just gonna be saying, like, said, commented, like, all that. She knows talking, but I didn't write it down because I got tired of writing it. Okay, keep in mind, I actually typed most of this up on, like, my mom's phone. Back in the day, I typed it up on a phone. I didn't have a computer. You had the load of us worried sick, Malkov said. Yeah, why not tell us next time before you unexpectedly black out? You made us think you wilted! Wait, his name is Peter? Apparently so. What did you think it was? Said Malkov. I thought it was Brent! Said Tiki. Oh, fun fact. Brent was Peter's original name. Back when I first was planning this in 6th grade. Peter's name was Brent. I changed it though because I thought Brent was dumb. It was like Brent and Beatrice, I think, instead of Peter and Olivia. Why would he be named Brent? What kind of name is that? You can read minds, how did you not know that? Said Malkov. I don't know, he looks like a Brent to me, said Tiki. Wait, what? Wilted? Said Peter. Wilted is the woodlands monster's way of saying you died, Malkov said casually. Every land has their own way of saying it, said Malkov. After explaining everything, Peter's party helps him up, and they press on, walking through the ever-so-dark caverns that were the Darklands. So, how about that, ketchup? Said Peter. Ooh, where's that? Sounds like a nice place to visit, said Tiki. Ketchup is a condiment, Peter said. Cool! Let's go! I want to visit this continent! Said Tiki. What? No, I said... You know what? I don't care. Let's just keep going, said Peter. They walked for a bit. At one point, Peter turned around and thought he saw Luna's ears from behind a rock. But once he blinked, they were gone. They walked until they came across a Devilino. Another random enemy that I invented. A Devilino. Peter remembered Papskin's advice and began talking to it. Suddenly a barking noise is heard, and the Devilino runs away. What a coward, thinks Peter. Suddenly, a small shadow glowing pink from its angler runs and jumps on Peter from behind. All the monsters currently in Peter's party gasp as it begins frantically licking Peter's face. I was like 11, I attempted to write the first note. Oh, that's so valid. A small shadow glowing pink from its angler runs. Oh, fuck, I already read this. Peter's party gasps as it began frantically licking Peter's face. It's a bright pup! But how? I thought that they all wilted, and I've never seen one with a pink angler. I thought they were all white, said Tiki. I don't know how this one survived. It's truly miraculous, said Malkov. Bark, bark! Oh, you guys are gonna like this guy. This is Globo. This is Globo the Bright Pup. And Globo is a dog with an angler on his head. That's Globo. He's a dog with a pink angler on his head. It's a dog that glows. That's a bright pup. That's valid. I just lost motivation for this story, honestly.
Papskin turned his head to look at the bright pup. Really? What a nice name. I'm Papskin. It's nice to meet you, Mr. Globo.
Everyone stares at Papskin in shock. You can understand that? Said Peter.
You can't?
Said Papskin. No! That's amazing! Said Tiki. Oh, H2Awoo, since you literally just got here, let me show you what the characters look like. So, this is Globo. Globo Beloved. This is Malkov, the gnome. This is Peter, our main character, and the human in the monster realm. And this is Tiki. Tiki, the Temphilly. That's her species name. She's a Temphilly. And of course, our beloved little bean, Papskin. Papskin the Goblin. Those are all of the boys that we got right now in the novel. No, that's amazing, said Tiki. How do you do that? Peter notices Papskin trembling. He's clutching his shirt where the charm of his necklace would be. He's hiding something. I know all too well about how he feels, Peter thought. Clearly, he doesn't want to give an answer. Thinking fast, Peter then spoke up. It doesn't matter. We should get going anyway. Everyone except Globo begins walking away. Papskin gives a timid wave to Globo. Globo then makes his magic bone appear. A page is taken out of its compartment. Riff, back! Said Globo.
Guys, stop! Globo wants to show us something,
said Papskin. Everyone turns around and looks at Globo. Using his mouth, he hands the page to Peter. What's this? Peter then gasps. The following journal entry from Percy's journal is listed below. It's been 2 months since I started my research on Phantasma, and I am as close as I probably will ever be in figuring this out. This is getting quite frustrating. Everyone thinks I'm insane, except my mom and my brother. Speaking of mom, she's worse than ever. Those awful white hives, and her skin color is getting darker yet darker. As mom gets worse, Dad breaks down more. Bit by bit, piece by piece. I don't feel sorry for him at all. This is his fault, I'm sure of it. I had a very weird dream yesterday. I was surrounded by black, and then she was just, that's great, the rest was bitten off from being in Globo's mouth. Man, dang it, Globo, come on. Bro just ate lore. He just ate the lore, so he couldn't read it. What a silly little goober. I love Globo. I love all of them. Peter was in shock. It couldn't be his, Peter thought. Could it? No, but the handwriting... Peter's train of thought was cut off when Papskin began talking to him.
Peter? Is everything alright?
Papskin asked. Yeah, you look as white as Malkov's beard, said Tiki. Hey, my beard isn't that white, said Malkov. Yes, it is, chimed in Tiki. No, it's not, said Malkov. Yes, it is, said Tiki. The two continue to bicker. Papskin looks at Globo.
Well, now there's no denying it. You are officially a part of our group. Right, Peter? Peter?
Said Papskin. Peter stands silently by the river, lost in thought. What? Peter? Oh, yeah, I guess so, Papskin.
Peter, are you sure you're okay?
Asked Papskin. Let's keep going. I need to get home. Now, said Peter.
Okay then, Peter. If you're sure,
Papskin says, tears in his eyes. Come on, guys, said Peter. Malkov and Tiki give a confused look to Papskin and Globo. Papskin puts on a fake smile and motions for them to follow. Tiki looks at Malkov and shrugs. They follow. curious as to what's going on. They walk for a bit until they reach a fork in the road. There's a sign. Tico Village to the right, it reads. Tico Village would probably be our best bet, said Malkov. Through there is a straight shot to the wetland. Through there is a straight shot to the wetlands, said Tiki.
But what if we run into another one of those Okit things?
Papskin said, frightened. We won't. Okits don't go near Tico Village. They hate happiness, and they hate the happiness and love that's everywhere, said Malkov. Let's just go in. Don't fall behind, Peter said, dismissively.
Okay then,
said Tiki. She is very confused. Oh, they go to Tico Village. Before they enter, they come across 2 Tico Knight guys. Not the Tico Knight guys! Oh no! They're holding spears with their faces on the pointy things. I didn't know what the top of a spear was, so I called it the pointy things. The male Tico Knight guy's spear has a bow tie. The female spear has a hair bow. Peter says nothing.
Peter? Aren't you going to talk to it like we practice? Peter?
Papskin asked. Peter still says nothing.
If he won't speak up, then I will, said Tiki. Heidi-ho, Ticos! We mean no harm. We just want to pass through your village. We need to get to Iceland as fast as possible so we can get Peter here back home. Right, Peter?
Tiki chimed. I don't have time for this. Peter walks into the village without another word, shoving the Tico Knight guys out of his way. Papskin instantly apologizes 5 times. His party quickly follows. Peter almost runs right into the Tico King. Oh, my apologies. I didn't know we had visitors, the Tico King said. Well, you are welcome to stay in our village as long as you like. In fact, I say we throw a welcoming party. Ticos, strike up the band! The Ticos bring out food, drinks, lights, and the Tico band plays some of their best hits. Everyone was enjoying themselves. Papskin was playing with the Tico kids. Tiki was dancing with the band. Each mythical creature cut for you. Ooh. No, that's not goofy, that's neat. Tiki was dancing with the band. Malkov was stuffing his face with cupcakes. Globo was getting love from the Ticas. Ticas are the female Ticos. Everyone's having fun. Everyone except Peter. He was just sitting away from everyone, lost in thought. Suddenly, Peter's head began to hurt badly, and he faints. When he wakes up, Peter's in a dark room. Everything is black. It's just him and the darkness inside this room. Suddenly, he hears a voice, a very familiar voice. Interesting, the voice says. Who's there? Yells Peter. Now, is that any way to talk to an old friend? You know all too well who's there. I want you to stop lying to me. You don't know me. You don't know him, says Peter. You need to stop lying to yourself, Peter. You keep telling yourself these idiotic lies, so you don't have to accept the truth. He's dead. I watched him die with my own eyes, Peter said. Wow, I can't believe how stupid you are. You act like you hate him, and yet you still clutch that paper that annoying Pooch gave you. How dare you call Globo annoying? As if you were waiting for him to come back. When you could have done something, all you did was watch. Like that Cowardly Goblin you're so fond of. Anyways, you look like you're having fun. I bet Olivia is too, waiting for her rescue party. What have you done to Olivia? Peter asked. You'll find out in due time. Anyways, your friends are worried about you. I better let you get back to them. See you soon, Peter.
Peter, thank God! I thought you will... Peter? Are you okay?
Papskin asked. Get off me, Peter said. Hey! Just because you're going through some unknown edgy funk doesn't mean you have to be a jerk, Tiki said. Tiki is right, Peter. You're hurting. Let us help you, Malkov said. Globo whines sympathetically.
Globo is right, Peter. We care about you, so come on. Get up and we can head to the wetlands. As friends, Papskin said. Yeah, before that, can we make a pit stop? I'm starving, Tiki said.
I am not your friend, Peter says.
What was that, Peter?
Papskin. Oh my gosh! What is wrong with you freaks? I am 23 years old, for God's sake. I don't need a wishy-washy old pipsqueak always telling me useless information, a loud, overprotective pooch getting in my way all the time, a creepy, psychic psychopath too giddy for her own good, and especially a pathetic and useless crybaby of a coward with no sense of mind in the real world whatsoever. So you can all just forget me for all I care. So thanks for nothing. Peter walks away, alone. Papskin is crying, Malkov is sitting with his head in his hands, Tiki is eating the rest of the cupcakes, trying to hold back tears, and Globo is hanging his head silently, his angler giving off a very dim glow. It's usually very bright. Peter is no longer filled with leadership, and the Ticos quietly walk away. And that's the end of Chapter 2! That's the end of Chapter 2, chat. I think I'm gonna call it here just because Chapter 3, I remember, is very long. Let me just see here, because I could be wrong, but I believe... Yeah, Chapter 3 is really, really long. How old was I when I wrote this? I was in 6th grade, I think? So, like, 12, maybe? 11, like 12 or 13? I don't know, I was pretty young. It was a few years ago I wrote this. I think I was 12. I think I was 12 when I started this. Anyway, I'm gonna end here just because I know Chapter 3 is pretty long. Chapter 3 and 4 are both very long. After Chapter 3 is kind of the midway point to when the chapters start getting really good, and then later down the line... See, I didn't do paragraph indents because I didn't know I needed to. Alright. Yeah. There's chapter 6. I don't know where chapter 6 and 7 are. Because that's also part of it. It's chapter 6 and 7. And I'll find those later. But yeah, if we get enough like traction on this and you guys want, I will do a part 2 of the reading of this. I will do more. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I've been SceneBean, and I'll see you all in the next one. I want to see who we gonna raid. Twitch chat, who are we gonna raid? Let's find out. Who's live right now? Who's live that I can go harass? None of my friends are live. Okay. We're not gonna go raid any of them. Anyway though, like I said, thank you all so much for watching. I've been your host, SceneBean, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye, 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 bye! Might read more when I come home, depending on how